price is so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Siding Unlimited is your local family-owned and operated resource for remodeling your home. We specialize in replacing windows, siding, roofing, doors, and decks. I say specialize because that is who we send to your home. Our team is built around the experts in all fields. Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Waukesha.
Kyle Brust-Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American Family Insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman, here to tell you about my friends at Bank 5-9. Everywhere I go throughout the area, I see Bank 5-9, and it's no wonder why. Not only do they have 14 branch locations, but their employees spend nearly 9,000 hours each year volunteering in the communities that they serve. That's on top of the financial support that they provide to several hundred nonprofits right here in southeastern Wisconsin. If you're looking for a true local community bank, check them out today at bank59.com. Member FDIC.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high,
hey, this is Jen Latta. You're listening to 94.5 ESPN, WKTI, and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime.
The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
If you go to the expo before the marathon, they got a ton of gear. They got t-shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies and all of the things that say the name of the marathon or the name of the city and all of the things. You got unlimited designs.
Oh, no. Oh, I can't. I got that marathon runner coming in tonight.
What marathon runner?
You know, this guy, Jean-Paul. I met him when I was working at Pendant, editing a book on running.
But there is just one official marathon jacket. Every marathon puts one out. They change it year to year. And if you run the marathon, it's a nice little display of accomplishment.
Oh, wait, Jean-Paul. Isn't he the guy who overslept at the Olympics 4 years ago, missed the marathon?
The number of people I saw walking around the 27th mile wearing the official marathon jacket, who very clearly did not run the marathon, was irking me, man.
Yeah, that's him.
He's from Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Yeah, he's Trinidadian and Tobagan.
How do you oversleep at the Olympics?
I know.
I mean, it's like the biggest event of your life. You'd think you'd have like 6 alarm clocks, paying off little kids in the village to come banging on your door.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Running her mouth, she wants to ride it, she's trying to hide it. I'm cool as ever, she's too excited. Her man look like he wanna fight. He ain't doing nothing but running his mouth. Talk about it, we all about it. They making plans, we sit and count. Our chairs stacked just like a mountain. You heard about it.
I need the mosquito bite remedies. Or maybe earlier in the process, the mosquito... Make a cross?
Yeah.
What do you mean make a cross? Like
take your nail.
Take your nail?
You talking a bite that you currently
I got a bite, a mosquito bite.
You knew he was going to have some sort of remedy, didn't you?
Stick it hard, hold it for a second, and then go the other way. And it'll get rid of the itch.
Okay, make a cross. That's what you make a cross. So you take your nail, you make a cross. Ow. Ow. The problem is my nails are curved.
Yeah.
So it looks like a...
Okay, a Gaelic cross. We're good. What would you guys do without me? I mean, really.
My life would be a lot more boring, I assure you.
I think I need the yard tricks. You were saying you were spraying your yard because you got people coming over for the 4th of July. And, there's nothing that ruins a gathering faster than the mosquitoes descending on your group. You got people doing the slapping behind the head.
Can't you get like those tiki torches that keep them away?
Do those work? This is what I'm asking.
They reek, though. That's the problem.
Isn't that why they work? Is that how they work?
Probably has something to do with it.
So what do you do?
I spray. Go to the hardware store, get the hose hook up.
And you would say that works. That's your go-to?
It's not as good as hiring the service.
60% of the time it works every time?
There you go. Yes. Yeah.
I don't want to spend money on something that maybe works, that might work, occasionally works. I'm bleeding here, by the way. Thank you for the...
It doesn't itch anymore, though, does it?
No, but it is going to scar.
All right, well, now what's your remedy to stop bleeding?
Tissue.
Let me cauterize it for you.
Yeah.
Great. Now I'm going to have a little scar on my arm from where I did Chewy's remedy. Chubb's weighing in saying, rub a dandelion on it. You think I got a dandelion at my disposal?
Huh.
We're downtown. Where do you think the closest dandelion is?
I've never heard of that.
Estabrook Park?
No, there's a little thing. There's a little kind of half park on the other side of the hotel there on Michigan.
Have you ever had dandelion wine?
There. I have not.
It's not good.
I can't imagine.
It's one of those things when you live on the farm and you're going to be hoeing for the next 7 hours. You're like,
take a little swig.
Makes the time go by.
Yikes. You've had some weird experiences,
Yes.
pal. All right, so this weekend you're hosting for 4th of July.
Yeah.
Yes, got that. Excited about it, yes?
Yeah. I mean, it's work. It's fine. There's a difference between 15 and 40 when it comes to food, though, right?
I mean, if everybody wants to be fed, yeah, I would say there's a significant difference between buying for 15 and buying for 40.
Do you feel strongly that everybody who comes to your party should eat?
Yeah, if you want some people not to eat,
hey,
then
you
just
know what?
15.
You could treat it like the bobbleheads at AmFam Field. First 25 people get
There you
food.
go.
Everybody
Should have
else
been here sooner.
Or tell them we're
SOL.
serving dinner at 2:30. Or just serve it at 2:30 so there'll be plenty of food. It's fine. I mean, Coach, I hate putting it on Coach because Coach does all the barbecue. He's the barbecue. So he's like Gabe. He's the specialist. But the problem is we weren't going to use a smoker. We were going to use, poor man's barbecue.
Yeah.
No smoke. Mm-hmm. So just do it on the regular grill.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can't cook for 40 on a regular grill when you're doing ribs and chicken. There's not enough room.
No, that's tough. That's tough.
So then it involves the smoker and a little more than a day's notice probably would have helped me a little bit.
So you've got today. You've got today to figure it all out.
We'll figure it out. It'll come together. But it'll be fun. It's great because you guys been to the house. It's like a big bowl. So for the 4th, me and the neighbor put up a huge slip and slide. Probably 40 yards long by 10 yards wide. Kids love it. I mean, and some of the adults love it. But there's always injuries.
10 yards wide?
Yes.
It's a 30-foot wide.
No, it's 10 wide, 40 long.
You want to do the math with me?
Nope.
No, all right. Let go. So everyone brings a hose over. Water's flowing.
And it was yards, too. You would think like football guy over here would have locked in.
Nah, he doesn't understand. He just understands yards. Doesn't understand feet.
But there should really be a nurse or an EMT on duty the whole time.
Oh, okay. Because you don't want to have to handle that stuff.
I'm good at you need to go to the hospital and get stitches.
You're good at assessing the situation
there's
and
that
saying
stuff. We've
you
had
need to or you don't need to.
The problem's not the kids. Problem is
really
not the
is.
kids.
Almost always.
It's not. I mean, you're going to have one kid going too early and just cleaning out, a good cut block is essentially what it is. But when the drunk 40-year-old woman from 3 years ago with the bikini with stuff flopping all over the place, takes out 3 kids and cuts her lip down to her chin. That's usually the problem.
This doesn't sound hypothetical anymore.
Well, again, it's the adults that get a couple of pops in them, and they're going, oh, slip and slide was so fun. And, before they have the first pop, it's like, oh, just let the kids. After the third or fourth, you're going, that looks like too much fun.
Yeah.
It's a little hot.
Well, we know how this works. This is entertainment for our guy, right?
Oh,
he said you don't go down the slip and slide.
No,
you just watch people go down the slip and slide.
When's the last time you went down the slip and slide?
Never went down it.
Really?
Know your limitations. That's why I don't play basketball. The only thing I do is pickleball. Because I had bad Achilles, and knock on wood, I'm not having Achilles surgery at 56 years old.
I don't think I knew that you were playing pickleball.
Yeah, I put a court in.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know you put a court in.
Yeah.
To your point about hiring the EMT, I got a girlfriend who had a party a few weekends ago, little kiddo birthday party at the pool. She hired a lifeguard. She's like, what do I want to watch all these kids in the pool? There's probably 30 kids there.
Smart, yeah.
Hired a lifeguard, paid her for the 4-hour swing. Brilliant. Smart, right? Because otherwise the rest of us are like eagle-eye hawks on the pool the whole time, and you end up spending the whole time doing that instead of enjoying the company of your neighbors and friends.
I'm guessing the EMT's slightly more pricey.
It's possible. But it's also lake country, so,
True.
You cut it up. She had a bigger budget for the lifeguard than he has for an EMT.
That's true, too.
Hey, cut it up between the neighbors, right?
Pass a hat.
I mean, I took, what is it, CPR?
Yeah, I don't know what you took. I'm guessing that's what it is.
What are you laughing at?
It really stuck.
I'm certified. What's that called again? Well, I'm questioning the certification suddenly.
I guess technically you don't need to know what it's called as long as you know how to do it. So let's just cross our fingers that we're locked in on that.
Were you singing Staying Alive while doing chest compression?
What else does the party entail? So you got the food, you're working through some of the logistics there. You do a little fireworks action, you got the slip and slide.
The neighbors complained years ago because it burns the top of the boat lifts when the ash comes down from like the big ones. So, but they have, they're doing fireworks out there tonight. The party's tomorrow, which is odd. You think everyone would have it on the 4th?
Oh, like the drone show tonight is tonight.
Oh, is it
in
really?
Milwaukee? Yeah, drone show's tonight.
9:30.
Why are they doing that?
What do you mean?
Why don't they have it on the 4th?
I think they've always kind of done it on the 3rd.
Okay. Does your town have fireworks?
I think so. I haven't checked.
Okay.
I mean, yes, we do. I know we do because I've been there before. I think they're on the 4th of July. I think they're up at like Fireman's Park.
Okay. So the Okachi Lakes are tonight, and then there's a massive house out there that does a private one for the lake. So
which one's better?
Well, here's the deal. It used to be flip-flop, where the huge house did them the night before Okachi's, but didn't want to show them up.
Okay.
So they would dial, because they use the same company.
Oh.
So he would say, dial it down 10%, make sure the lake is better.
Yeah.
But now there's no need.
So now it's
So he might go over the top with it.
Because now he's on the 4th. He's the main event.
Yes. So it'll be great.
Spare
either
no
way.
expense.
Yeah.
All the good fireworks.
Yeah. A typical party. Booze, food, and accidents.
What?
Well, you asked what the
Yeah.
itinerary is.
You're going to have to expound upon accidents.
Well, the slip and slide.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's entertaining. Really is.
Which is the only reason that you're involved, as we've discussed.
Yeah.
So, I mean, when you get the smoker involved, you're just kind of letting your kid handle all of that. Are you just like the sous chef?
Coach is like me. He's like me. Carbon copy. Complains endlessly, but loves doing it.
I mean, he works in football.
But
Look
so
at
that
the
makes
self-awareness, though, from our guy, by the way. Nice work, pal.
Yeah.
So you mentioned accidents. This is fascinating to me because I think that 4th of July is the holiday where there are the most accidents. Now, a lot of those are going to be firework related or sparkler related or
Jason
fire.
Pierre-Paul.
I was about to say, shout out Jason Pierre-Paul.
Yeah. Poor guy.
No, not poor guy. Did it to himself.
You guys got any 4th of July accidents? Like, I'll tell you this. We went to a party when we first moved here. I believe it was Dr. Dave. I believe Dr. Dave and his family invited us down to their 4th of July gathering. And my daughter, who is now 7, was 1 at the time. And we gave her a sparkler, thinking, oh, how cute. We've got some great pictures, right? We're sitting on a blanket on the beach, watching the fireworks that are going off along the shoreline. It was very picturesque. And then we noticed that the sparks from the sparkler are dropping onto our blanket. And everywhere they drop, hole. We got a Swiss cheese blanket happening right underneath us. So we got, and one of them lit on fire. So we got, we're picking up the kid, moving the kid, throwing the blanket in the water, trying to put out the fire, and that was random. I haven't had a major accident since, but that was something where you were like, whoa, hey, maybe we overestimated our ability to handle the sparklers. You guys got any accidents?
You gave a 1-year-old a sparkler?
To be fair, I was also holding
No, there's no to be fair. To be fair. A 1-year-old? Nah. No, I don't think so.
Let's get them stable on 2 feet before we start handing them fireworks.
I'm going to send the photograph to our buddy Will, who's back there behind the glass, and see if Will can put it up on the stream.
I'm sure the photo's cute, Jen.
I'm telling you, I'm holding on to the sparkler. This was not as reckless as you're making it out to be.
So if this isn't reckless, then how did it end up on the blanket?
She's 1.
I don't know.
Way to be proactive.
Who could say for sure?
No, when my kids were younger with the jet skis, we were good for probably 2 tickets a year.
What, just going too fast?
Too fast, too close, all that, which usually turned into someone getting in a fight with the boat patrol.
You just chalked it up. You were like, there are going to be 2 tickets. We got it covered in the kitty.
I was about to say, when you knew the party was happening, did you start saving then? Like, oh, okay, we've got this in the reserve fund. We can afford this ticket.
Yeah, it's part of being a parent with jet skis. Just happens. So, but my wife doesn't take those laying down. She's always going to take the side of the kid.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're folding it into the cost of the party, and she's hoping it happens so that she can fight it.
Constant negotiator.
How often was she successful in negotiating?
She told the DNR to get the hell off our property, and they said, well, we're going to call the police. And she said, good, I know them all anyways. So had to kind of get in the middle of that one, which was quite uncomfortable.
Wait, I just want to be clear. Does this fall under the accidents umbrella that we were talking about earlier?
This fell under the tickets. The 2 tickets.
Incidentals.
Average. Yes.
The incidental portion of the budget that you put together for your 4th of July party.
Yeah, that was...
Wait, so how did your party go from 15? Because it seemed like it was going to be a family gathering. Like you're talking about all the kids coming back. You're going to see. We talked about Coach, your son who's a coach in college football. You haven't seen him since Christmas. How did this party grow from 15 to 40?
Well, where I like to complain, I don't know. I just like to complain, but I always like doing what I do.
Mm-hmm.
She claims she doesn't like to have parties, but has parties for every single holiday.
Sure.
Now, she claims this year, because, we've had the New Year's one for the last couple of years, and that's 100. Last one was 120. Right after, and still holding strong, gives me we're done. We're going on vacation. There ain't no way in hell we're going on vacation. I guarantee we're having another New Year's party. So that's how it goes.
So then she just starts inviting people just out of habit at this point?
Yeah.
It's like labor for her is what it is.
Yeah.
After the labor, you're like, I'm never doing that again. And then you get a little removed from having the baby, and then you go, you know what? It wasn't that bad. And everyone else is like, yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was awful. I was there.
And that 7-week thing after, that's a total lie.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
You horn dog.
7 days.
Jeez Louise. Will was kind enough to grab that picture of Layla and I at the 4th of July. He's throwing it up on the stream right now if you guys want to take a look at Layla and I with the fireworks at the beach. It's a very cute picture. She's, staring in awe at the... Now, to be fair, I didn't remember that it was such a big sparkler.
I was going to say, I've never seen a sparkler that big before.
That's a full-on firework. That's not a sparkler. What are we doing?
Looks like the sun. You gave that to a one. Hey, parent of the year, mother of the year, right there. You got
no
my
wonder
vote.
it started going. Probably went on your neighbor's blankets too. That thing's huge.
It was a big sparkler. Will, you can keep. There you go. You can keep it up on the YouTube stream for people who want to see the picture of me and my daughter, who was then 1 at the time, and the sparkler I gave her that lit our blanket on fire. Yeah, accidents happen. Justin in Jacksonville reminding us. He says, "Just remember, today is the last day someone will have all of their fingers." Be safe out there, everybody. Get us your accidents, your 4th of July accidents. I didn't know that Chewy's were going to involve a slip and slide. I got to be honest there. That was a wild card plot twist for me. We've got Jason Wilde coming up today. Still a lot of stuff to get to. Still development, still conversation surrounding the Milwaukee Bucks and the moves they've made. I heard somebody say that this doesn't even make them any better. We'll debate that this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. And you probably saw Brewers played 2 yesterday. Freddie Peralta in Game 1. The Miz in Game 2 got a little roughed up in New York against the Mets. We'll talk about that. And his next start is going to be a big one. That is all coming up this morning on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Stick around.
Who doesn't love Cheez-Its, the legendary cracker? It's now available as a frozen pizza. Each crust a giant original Cheez-It flavored cracker crust. It's square shaped because, of course, it's Cheez-It. Ultra thin, super crispy, and the perfect amount of Cheez-It flavor. On top of the crust, flavors perfectly that are complementing the Cheez-It taste, including Italian 4 cheese, cheddar jack supreme, and pepperoni. With one of these shortest bake times, you'll be freezing to cheesing in as few as 8 minutes. Find Cheez-It frozen pizza in your favorite grocer's frozen pizza section. Can't wait. You need to try it this weekend. Cheez-It, available in your grocer's frozen pizza section.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Everything's moving along just fine out on the roads. No major delays. Just a quick tap of the brakes from Mayfair Road up past North Avenue on 41 northbound. Otherwise, everything else is looking great. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden this summer. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, a few afternoon pop-up storms possible, a high of 83 at the lake, 88 inland. Tonight, isolated showers or storms possible, partly cloudy otherwise, a low of 68. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazga on 94.5 ESPN.
Get your golf fix every Tuesday night at 6 with On the Tee.
Like, Spieth is probably going to, embarrass me at some point. The hell do you know? Shut up and carry the bag.
Join Gabe Neitzel and Stephen Watson as they dissect all things pro golf and tell the tales of their own golfing journeys in Wisconsin.
I think it's golf in its purest form, and I think it should bookend the golf season.
Go On the Tee with Gabe and Stephen, sponsored by Majestic Oaks at Lake Lawn Resort and Gruber Law Offices. Tuesday nights at 6 on 94.5 ESPN and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO-certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit lakelandsupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Turn your driveway into the basketball court of your dreams with Precision Sports, Southeastern Wisconsin's dealer for Mega Slam, Ironclad, and Dominator hoop systems. From installation to customizable painted court lines, Precision Sports is a slam dunk. PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Whether you're a local who wants to enjoy a night out or you're planning to visit Milwaukee, enjoy an artfully stylish experience at St. Kate the Arts Hotel, conveniently located in the heart of downtown Milwaukee's Theater District. With deluxe accommodations, culinary creativity, on-site art galleries, artist in residence, and nightly live music, you'll enjoy every element of your stay at St. Kate. Learn more and book your stay at stkatearts.com.
Evan Cohen here. According to a recent ZipRecruiter survey, 76% of employers plan to expand headcount for 2025. If you're one of these employers, add ZipRecruiter's latest feature, Zip Intro, to your hiring plan. It does most of the work for you, so you save time. Just pick a time, and Zip Intro finds and schedules qualified candidates for you. You can even meet with great people on back-to-back video calls as soon as the next day. Try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL. Evan Cohen here. Whether you're locking in your home run picks or riding with your favorite golfers this summer, ESPN Bet is your sportsbook for all the action. Go from checking stats on your favorite teams and players to placing bets in just a few taps. Plus, new customers can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
If only life had a remote control, you could pause or rewind. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute risk test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I just figured if I got the yellow ones from Mexico, I could slip those in without her. Did you know the Viagra in Mexico is yellow?
Had no idea.
Yeah.
Wait, can you just paint it? You just drop it in a little food coloring?
You probably
call
could,
it
like an egg. I'm going to try that.
Easter has a new meaning in the Chimera household.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Ready, down, put.
All Packers, all the time.
He was a field tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Brought to you by Exterior Pros. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this year? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com. Also brought to you by Lakeland Supply. Lakeland Supply is in business to make your business better. Set up a free packaging and supply chain assessment at lakelandsupply.com.
Wishing a very happy 4th of July to our buddy Jason Wilde and his crew. Good morning, Jason. How you doing today?
I'm great, everybody. How are you?
Good, good. The guys are giving me a hard time for giving my 1-year-old daughter back in the day a sparkler that lit our blanket on fire.
And then she was shocked that the blanket caught on fire, Jason. I don't know how. I mean, it's a mystery on how this happened. I don't understand.
Yeah.
It was, and now that we've looked at the photograph, it was a very large sparkler. It was a BFS.
It's honestly a miracle that the people sitting next to them's blanket didn't start on fire. That's how big this sparkler was.
You ever had any 4th of July mishaps, Jason?
Oh, first of all, I mean, on the bright side, the blanket starting on fire prevented you from giving her an M80 then next. So that's a good thing. So you got to look at it from the positive perspective.
Yeah. She gets that at 2.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be a little older and more mature.
We're not reckless.
Yeah, I hate the 4th of July. Love our country. Love parades, love that kind of thing, but as a longtime dog owner, as an incredibly intense helicopter parent, as someone who doesn't understand why shooting off fireworks amateurly is illegal, but buying them is perfectly fine, as if, what are you going to do with them after you buy them?
You gotta look at them.
Just set them on the shelf, right? Just admire. Think about what it would be like if you could set them off. I It is my least. It may be my least favorite holiday. Like Flag Day may even be ahead of it.
Arbor Day.
Arbor Day, big tree guy. I'm a tree hugger, as you know.
Jason, a couple. Does Emmanuel Wilson have any trade value?
Well, first, a couple things. One, once again, my fear of texting some random person instead of you, even though Gabe sent me the correct number. I shared my top 20 Packers list with a few of our teammates, a few former NFL players, a few national radio guys like Gabe, and I didn't send it to you because I was afraid. So.
Do you want me to show it to him?
Wait,
later,
wait, hold
Jason?
on. Did you also not send it to me because you were afraid?
Yes, I'm afraid of sending that group text.
Even though we started
the three of you. Yes, I know. I didn't say it made sense. I just said this is I know Gabe's number, and so I sent it to Gabe. But I was intending to send it to the whole show. I literally had the 3-person text up, and I couldn't remember if it was the one that you had started or the one that I had erroneously started and sent it. So send me, if you don't mind, like we're planning this on the show, and I know you have other things to get to today. But if you could send me another text to this group, that would really be helpful.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now, Jason. Don't worry.
And this is the one. Write something that delineates it from the previous.
It was named JGC plus Wildy. Josh started it, JGC plus Wildy.
All right,
I'm not
all right.
proud. I thought this was a safe space for me, to be honest.
Now I figure this is a segue, though, to where you have Emmanuel Wilson on that list.
The reason I asked Jason is because there's going to be a dance when it comes to numbers on the offense because they love Marshawn Lloyd, right? Even though he hasn't shown anything. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, he's carried the ball like 6 times. All right, couple things. Sorry for disrupting this conversation. The reason I was bringing it up, and had I sent this to you previously, you would know, is that I think Josh Jacobs, there's a conversation to be had. As much as we think Jordan Love is a really good quarterback, if number 1 or number 2 on the list should be Josh Jacobs. Should Josh Jacobs be 1? I think I can make a pretty good argument for it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so with Marshawn Lloyd, who I don't really care that they're so excited about him. He has not proven in the NFL that he can stay on the field. He had one of the worst luck seasons I've ever seen of any player ever entering. When you have a emergency appendectomy, just days before you're supposed to finally return to the lineup, that's rough. And I'm not saying he can't go on to have a really great career, but they ran the ball a significant percentage more than they passed it last season. And even if you had less lopsided numbers in the one game that Malik Willis started, they still would have run it more than they passed it, which had not happened since 2003 when Amon Green set the franchise single-season rushing record. So my point is that I'm not trading Emmanuel Wilson because as tough and physical as Josh Jacobs is, I want to make sure. I think Emmanuel Wilson is a better running back than he gets credit for.
Yeah,
he averaged 5 yards a carry.
I know. I love him.
So I'm not trading him because I want to have a much better insurance policy so I can still run the crap out of the ball if for some reason Josh Jacobs misses a game or not. And I would add this as well, that the moves they made on the offensive line this offseason, adding Banks, moving Elton over to center, those were not made because they wanted to improve their protection of Jordan Love, right? Jordan Love, A, is fantastic in the pocket at avoiding sacks. He only had 14 last year. And B, the fact that they're competing at left tackle tells me that they want a guy that's more consistent in the run game and protects him. And they were so bad at getting Josh Jacobs yardage before contact that's one of the reasons why they overpaid a road grading left guard. So again, my point is that even though we all agree that Jordan Love is a good quarterback, and the only question now is how good is he truly, I still think this is a Josh Jacobs run, is the engine of the offense. And so if something were to happen to him, I think Goody wants Emmanuel Wilson on his roster. Now, if they go through this season and Marshawn Lloyd stays healthy and he's a really good complementary back, maybe they get to the trade deadline and they change things. But I'm glad you like Emmanuel Wilson, because now while I don't feel good about my fear of text messaging, I feel much better about my view of a player, because I thought I was the only one that really liked
But
it.
the dance is going to be, Jason, someone good is going to get cut, right? I mean, because they typically don't keep three backs, do they?
No, they do. They will.
do?
They'll keep three.
Okay.
So and look, they like Chris Brooks a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, if you're going to keep your top three backs are going to be Jacobs, Wilson, and Lloyd. And then I'm sure one of the two undrafted guys will probably end up on the practice squad. But again, they also have to figure out, talk about the dance, like they have 9 guys at wide receiver that deserve an NFL roster spot, and they ain't keeping 9, they ain't keeping 8, and if they keep 7, that would mean they'd have to rob from Peter to pay Paul to find a spot for that guy.
Speaking of robbing Peter to pay Paul, the Milwaukee Bucks made a pretty shocking move. And part of it was...
Wow, we didn't even plan that. What a great segue. God, that's amazing.
Well, I mean, part of the shock was that nobody expected that yesterday, because the Bucks didn't have any, salary cap space, and then they end up pulling off the move for Miles Turner. In your time covering the Packers, what is the most shocked you've been at an acquisition they've made?
So the one that stands out, and I was talking to Homer about this last night, like obviously the Rodgers thing, right? But that's different because you had, once he wasn't picked at 1, you weren't thinking, oh my God, he's going to be a Packer. But like when we started to get to like 11, 12, 13 in that draft, you started to think, oh, this guy could really fall, and would they actually have the guts to do this? So that one, like, yes, in kind of the 30,000-foot view is shocking, but the way it came together wasn't. Like, again, we were on the air, that was what, Tuesday? When it was unfurling. Like, it was great. There was like a moment there where at like 9:45, we thought that they were going to somehow have Miles Turner and Damian Lillard and Giannis on the team together. And then obviously that lasted about a minute and a half. But to me, the most shocked that I have been by any acquisition, and look, Charles Woodson is on that list, right? Like the idea of having a former Heisman Trophy winner, and they signed him in like April, and there wasn't a lot of buzz about him coming to Green Bay. But the one that I'll never forget is waking up, I think, on a Saturday morning.
Yeah, Julius Peppers.
And Julius Peppers is taking pictures inside Lambeau Field, and none of the insiders, not Shefty, not Rap Sheet, no one had even a whiff of him joining the Packers.
Well, those pictures, Jason, didn't those were taken like 3 days before, and then they released him for whatever reason that Saturday. Like he had signed that not that day. I thought it was like a couple of days before.
Yeah, I think it was only 1 day before, but you're right. Like it wasn't like he was out there at 7 a.m. Posing for photos. So it was at least the previous day. But yeah, like again, like how often in the NFL at this point and look, Schefter is the GOAT, and I still think Ian Rappaport and Tom Pelissero do a great job too. But how often does something happen where not even like at all, not even like 5 minutes before it's announced, does one of the insiders not have it? I can't think of other examples where a player or a team put something out there that seismic and no one had it beforehand.
Jason, I love this list that you're putting together. You referenced it a few moments ago, and the one that I believe you released yesterday was number 19, if I'm not mistaken, Matthew Golden, the most important Packers of 2025, number 19, Matthew Golden, wide receiver. Great article on Channel 3000 that you should read, can read over on that website. I guess I thought that Matthew Golden would be expected to have a bigger impact than 19. So explain the thought process behind him being 19 on a list of, I believe, was it top 20? Are you doing 20 or 25?
I mean, the list is eventually going to have 25 because it's a Jason list.
Hey.
But for the purpose of the exercise,
you want to, yeah. Again, you've seen the list, so you know how this is going to shake out.
I cut some corners. Let's put it that way. I cheated a little bit. But here's the thing. Look, I think Matthew Golden's going to be a very good player. You don't draft a guy in the first round to be just a guy, right? At the same time, you look at who they have. You look at the history of rookie wide receivers getting up to speed. Now, again, and I go into that in the story that you look at what Jaden Reed did, and that's a big time outlier. Before that, it was 2007 when James Jones had 47 catches. You look what Randall Cobb did before he became a top flight player. You look at what Devontae Adams did. The difference, of course, as we all know, is that they had established number one wide receivers, and this team does not have that. So maybe Matthew Golden walks in and has a 1,000-yard season. But I feel like, we've been at this too long. Even if the game has changed, and that's what Goody talks about in the piece, that, these guys get up to speed faster. I still think to come into this season thinking he's going to have 60 catches and 1,000 yards is unfair to Matthew Golden and unfair to a lot of other really good wide receivers that none of them are great, but they all have a niche that they have value. And back to Chewy's point about the dance and the numbers game we're looking at here, I think they still want Romeo Doubs to be a significant part of their offense. They don't, in my opinion, want him a year from now, but they want him this year. I think they are genuinely getting their hopes up that Christian Watson is going to be back sooner than he should be from a torn ACL suffered on January 5th. I think that they still view Dontavion Wicks as a guy that has some Devontae Adams to him, and they're encouraged by the second half of last season where he really put to rest the drop problems. And Jaden Reed ended up dropping more balls than he did last season. So you kind of put all that together, and I just think that while I think Matthew Golden will be obviously a really good addition to what they do, I don't think it's realistic to say he's going to walk in and just be target number one. And we'll see if I'm wrong. The idea of this is not to be right. The idea of this is to spur conversation. And clearly it worked because I appreciate the question, because it is a very fair question. And the question that I intended to have asked once I put him at 19.
Just to piggyback that, though, people think you just have to know the plays. You don't have to you got to know conversions. You got to know checks. And it has to come natural to you. Your tendency is to be a robot. You're like, okay, cover two, 72X shallow cross. If it's cover two, where do I go to? I think I go here. And then you wind up going half speed. So, Jason, to your point, I see him having a bigger second half of the season than I do initially. Jason, I would say he's going to have packages for him, right, early on, so he gets comfortable and then progress from there, hopefully.
Yeah. Again, if they had fewer guys, and they've got, obviously, if we count Watson and he's back, let's say they start him on PUP and he misses the first 6 games instead of not being back until like November. Then you've got him and Dobbs, who are both in their 4th years. You've got Reed and Wicks, who are both in their 3rd years. I know that they're messing around with Bo Melton as a corner, but he does have a role in this offense. And then obviously Golden, and I don't know what, again, Savion Williams, he wore a red no contact jersey and did none of the one thing that they did all offseason at full speed, which was 2-minute drills. So I have no idea what he's going to be, right? And I don't think they do either, and I don't think they picked him to be a major, major piece this year. So Golden's going to have opportunities. But to your point, I always think about 2014 with Devontae Adams. And Devontae Adams had 3 really big games, right, including the Cowboys playoff game and the New England game. But the fact of the matter is that they had other good receivers that year. They had Cobb, who had 1,000 yards plus. They had Jordy, who had 1,000 yards plus. And he had his moments, but he also had his growing pains. And as we all know how good he became, I think Golden could turn out to be a really, 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 really good player too. But I don't think he's going to be that in his first year. I think he's going to be a meaningful contributor and have some games where he is the headline grabber on offense. But again, if I get proven wrong, great, because it means next year when I put him higher, everyone can point out what an idiot I was for putting him at 19 this year.
Jason, we appreciate you hanging out with us. Have a great one, and we will talk to you again soon. Happy 4th of July.
Yeah, I got to go check my text messages and nervously send a text back to you guys. All right, take care. Be good.
He's Jason Wilde. You can find him on Wilde and Tausch right after this very program each and every morning here on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee. And Lakeland Supply is in the business to make your business better. Set up a free packaging and supply chain assessment at lakelandsupply.com. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy right after this. Stick around.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Quiet ride around the area. Really not seeing too many delays except for 41 northbound between Mayfair Road and North Avenue. Literally, that is the only spot I'm seeing with any kind of major delays out there. So no incidents either, so everything is looking good. Traffic is brought to you by Third Ward Beer Garden. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden this summer. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times, great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Partly cloudy skies, a few afternoon pop-up storms. A high of 83 at the lake, 88 inland tonight. Isolated showers or storms, partly cloudy with a low of 68. Weather is brought to you by Infinity Exteriors, dedicated to saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Mother Nature can be unpredictable. Your roof, siding, and windows shouldn't be. We install peace of mind with transparency and quality guaranteed. Visit infinityexteriors.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards, they're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel, it's a glow up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
What we love about our ability to help patients at QC Kinetics is seeing their pure delight at finally being able to do the things they enjoy without pain.
I had a patient start treatment with me. He wanted to be able to be active again and do some of his sports that he really enjoyed.
Dr. Ashley Caravelli, Milwaukee's medical director for QC Kinetics, treats patients with chronic joint pain using their body's own biologics. The goal? Get them back to living their best lives without surgery or harmful drugs.
He came back and he goes, what I wasn't expecting was the ability to play on the floor with my grandchildren. Even just saying it now, I have goosebumps because it's changing those small moments that you take for granted.
Don't let joint pain rob you of those moments. See if you're a candidate for QC Kinetics regenerative treatments.
It just warms my heart to be able to help people live the life they want to live and get those small moments back.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Thesaurus
What's a click below dumb?
You. No.
Whoa. That's fine.
Whoa.
No, that's what I was getting
Good
at.
pop. Good pop.
I know.
Unnecessary.
I'm not dumb. I'm one click below dumb. We need to find out what that word is.
Don't you want to be one click above dumb?
Oh, that's right. I'm one click above.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, we have a special guest coming in studio this morning in the 8 o'clock hour. Very cool, unique, local story. We will talk about that a little bit later on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. But I want to continue talking about the Milwaukee Bucks because, as I mentioned earlier this week, they were literally the epicenter of the NBA as John Horst made some moves that blew everyone's mind, including, you know, the wave and stretch with Dame Lillard as they acquired Miles Turner. And there were other things that we didn't even get to. You saw Pat Connaughton was traded, and Pat Connaughton penned a lovely thank you to the city of Milwaukee. It is on his social media. If you haven't gotten a chance, take a look at that as well. But man, and I don't want to be a homer here, but it does feel like from a national media standpoint, and a lot of these folks are my colleagues at ESPN, there is not a lot of love lost for the Milwaukee Bucks. People are haters. And I'm trying to figure out why. Is it just as simple as they don't like a superstar like Giannis being in Milwaukee? Is it that they underestimate the greatness of Milwaukee? I don't know. But Brian Windhorst was on the Homer Hour earlier this week reacting to the moves that Horst and company made. And here's what he had to say about what he believes the Bucks' ceiling is this season.
I would say that I'm a little bit concerned that it doesn't really move the needle, because while Miles Turner is an excellent player, he's not dramatically better than Brook Lopez. I mean, he's younger, and you're going to get more out of him. And, he definitely outplayed Brook in the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. And he fits with Giannis because he's going to stretch the floor, and he's going to defend the rim, and he's going to allow Giannis to play more free. Like, it's definitely a very good fit. But they were fifth in the East last year, and this move, maybe if it works out great, they can be fourth.
Let me just throw this out here, because we all seen the reports that Dame wants to go back to Portland to rehab.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any chance this came about where Dame said, no, I'm going back to Portland? It ticked off the organization, which put this whole thing in motion.
I don't think so. Because, again, Dame, like, releasing Dame like this isn't an FU to Dame. Like, this is great for him because he has control over his future and he still gets his money. Like, this is something that the Bucks wanted to do because they didn't want to just sit there and eat $53 million this upcoming season and get nothing in return. They decided, hey, what if we eat 22 and then we can sign someone and still have somebody we can pair next to Giannis? And it's funny because Wendy's like, well, I mean, it's not that great. And then he ran through all of the reasons
why it's great,
why this is great for the Bucks. Like, I don't understand the logic behind, this isn't great. I mean, he's a little bit better than Lopez. Well, yeah, I mean, he outplayed Lopez.
Correct,
He's younger than Lopez.
He plays so much better with Giannis.
Yeah, right? Like, he listed everything.
Which, by the way, guys, if you're John Horst, these are all the reasons why you make the move.
Yes.
The other thing is, this is not the same Eastern Conference as it was last year. And to act like it is just, I don't know, convenientargumentsforme.com. Like, the East is weaker now because of all of the injuries that have occurred to all of the teams. And by the way, the move weakens the Pacers, who were, whether you like it or not, Bucks fans, the best team in the East last year. Like, all of those things, I think, play a role in where the Bucks should be slotted when you start previewing the East, too.
But why doesn't Vegas love it? Because it still has them 8th in the East. So Vegas doesn't love it either.
It's value, Chew. Head over to our friends at Potawatomi.
Why aren't
you and me after the show? Let's hop in the car.
I know, but why? And Vegas is big because they know what they're doing.
Yeah, those casinos aren't getting smaller.
Why wouldn't they have them 4?
Because there's a lot of unproven, right? When we talk about the Packers, we're like, well, if this happens for the Bucks, realistically, in terms of established players that they have, it's now Giannis and Miles Turner. Like, a lot of other people, a lot of other guys that I like and I think fit. Like, well, okay, AJ Green's still on the roster. He still has growing to do. Can Kevin Porter Jr. live up to his potential? Gary Trent Jr. started to live up to a lot of the potential after Dame went down, was averaging nearly 20 points per game in the postseason. Okay, can he continue to take those next steps? Can Kyle Kuzma, another year in the Bucks organization, try to live up to the potential that he has? Like, there's so many still questions, whereas you don't really have any questions about the Knicks. There's not going to be any questions about the Cavs.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of other teams that have had pretty significant odd seasons, the Hawks, the Magic, where, this is where the Bucks are going to sling.
See, this is one of those things. It's like the Packers with us and Jason, with national people. We're more dialed in to the Packers than national. Would you agree? That's why, what was your read on Eric yesterday? He was...
Measured?
Measured? I mean, he didn't hate it. He understand it. And I don't know if he loved it.
What do you think, Gabe?
Yeah, I think it was, I think everyone's still just processing it because it is such a risk to eat $22 million against your cap for 5 years. And they're saying, hey, we're good with that because we got Giannis. And everybody wants to go, oh, you're basically paying $50 million for Miles Turner. No, tack the extra 22 onto Giannis. It's a Giannis tax is the way I'm looking at it. Like, okay, they're comfortable doing this, not for Miles Turner. They're comfortable doing this because it's Giannis.
Yes.
So it's, okay, you're paying Giannis that plus the $22 million because he's that good, he can make up for that dead cap space that you're going to have. And I think it's a move that, based on everything that was out there, if you wanted to do something to convince Giannis that you are still committed to winning, you went out and got the biggest free agent out there. You got the biggest name you could possibly get. I think that convinces Giannis, this team is going to do whatever it takes in order to try to win a championship.
And didn't you say, Gabe, that you saw a report or you saw pictures, something like that, like Giannis was overseas working out with a bunch of these young guys that the Bucks have now, been able to hold on to? Who were some of those guys?
Well, so Chris Livingston, he got waived. I don't know if they bring him back on a minimal deal. They just had to do that for accounting purposes to make everything work. They had to get rid of his cap hold. But Livingston was over there. Ajax was over there. And Smith was over there. 3 younger guys that were posting on their socials that they were in Greece working out with Giannis.
Does this put a timeline on Giannis, though? Because the reports I read, this will get worse the farther they get into it. And Giannis is not going to be the same player 4 years from now. He's 32. He'll be 36. So is this essentially...
But the salary cap is going to keep going up, right? And the TV deal gets factored in there.
Next year. You're going to be $20 million
you're still,
in the hole
you're still eating
to everybody else.
Absolutely. And, Chew, they'll worry about that bridge when they got to cross it. That's basically the way that John Horst has been operating on this, and I completely get it. And I think Eric kind of alluded to it yesterday.
Yeah.
I think the thing that national people have a hard time comprehending, and I saw a Bill Simmons post about this yesterday.
Oh, goodness
where
gracious,
he was talking about, well, I would have just traded Giannis at this. That's not an option for
Correct,
Bucks.
Exactly. In fact, it is, what do we need to do to avoid that at all costs?
Yeah.
Right?
That's not an outcome that John Horst is entertaining.
So when Bill Simmons was saying that yesterday, I was thinking to myself, but they don't want to trade Giannis. So when you're looking at column A or column B, door number 1 or door number 2, the one he's suggesting is door number 2 isn't even an option for them, which means Door number one.
It took us 50 years as a fan base to see the Bucks win a championship. You needed that transcendental. And again, Kareem in 71, Giannis in 21, and the Bucks were decent in the 80s. Had a nice little run in the late 2000s where they made an Eastern Conference Finals. But I think John Horst realizes, hey, dude like this doesn't come here all that often, and it's my job as the general manager of this team to do everything in my power to hold on to him as long as I can. And if that costs him his job after Giannis leaves, I think, hey, I'm good with that. I tried everything I could with that guy to bring more championships.
So give me the read on some of the other Eastern Conference teams, because before we go, it's the last thing I want to do. They have the Cleveland Cavaliers as the favorites to win the East, but we saw what Cleveland did last season, which was have the best record in the regular season, absolutely roll through the regular season, but then not be able to make a run in the postseason. Theoretically, they will take a step forward if they have the same roster, barring any dramatic injuries or whatever. But until you do it, I don't think there's any guarantee that you can do it, right? So, like, to me, that's the thing with the Cavaliers where it's like, all right, let's see you do it before I'm going to automatically crown you the best of the East.
And it's not like they were close. They lost in 5 in the second round. You know, they got trounced pretty good. So, for them, and they can't answer any of their questions that they have until they get to the playoffs. We know they can have a good regular season. All right, now you got to do it in the playoffs. Don't pee down your leg in the postseason, and then you can be believed in.
Which is a step the Bucks had to take as well. I remember when we were having that conversation with Milwaukee. Go to the New York Knicks. They obviously, it sounds like, are going to hire Mike Brown as the head coach. Does that do anything for you? Does that take them? It does, but here's the thing. Like, they went so far in the East, the only way that they take a step forward is to actually win the whole dang thing,
and that's their expectation. Because they return their top 6 or 7 guys, and now they're adding Jordan Clarkson, so they're going to have some scoring off the bench. Like watching the Pacers and some guy just that you maybe never heard of, how did he score 20 points off the bench? That's what Jordan Clarkson can do, coming off the bench for the Knicks. So they've gotten better. I would say the Knicks have gotten better with keeping what they had and adding to their bench, so now they have more depth.
Orlando Magic.
They're a problem with the addition of Desmond Bane. I know a lot of people don't know who Desmond Bane is, but he kind of fits what they are. They're a big team. They're a physical team. He helps them score more. They're a grinded out type of defense. It's tough to score against them.
People know who Desmond Bane is now after the trade that was made for him where we were going, I'm sorry, what was the compensation package? Right? That's going to be his claim to fame for people who are more peripheral Magic fans, if you will.
I mean, is he worth 5 first-round picks if they win a championship? But they think that they're a Desmond Bane away from winning a championship, and they were a team that was pretty beat up last year. Paulo Banchero is a young rising star in the league.
Atlanta Hawks.
I love their offseason. They did a really good job with what they were able to add. Now
you're making me hate the trade, okay?
but he's making you understand why they're tied for 7th in some standings. And
they what they were able to do going out and getting Neil Alexander Walker out of Minnesota is really good. Then they added Kristaps Porzingis. Jalen Johnson, who we're familiar with because he's from Wisconsin, was injured a lot of last year. They've got length on the perimeter. The question is, can Trae Young be the best player on a championship team? That's the question they have to answer because he's 6'1". Can you hide him on defense enough in a day where it seems like you need to be pretty strong and not have a lot of deficiencies on either end of the floor 1 through 8?
We will take a break here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Still a lot of stuff to get to. You probably saw The Miz get roughed up last night in New York. We'll talk about what that means for the young phenom as Jen, Gabe, and Chewy rolls on.
Hey, let me tell you about something I did a couple of years ago. I joined out at the Wisconsin Country Club, and it's something that you should do as well. If you're looking for a great golf course that's going to challenge you and you love, but then also has some of the other great amenities that a country club can offer. Think about that. Top-tier amenities, tennis, pickleball, pool. I love the practice facility. It's one of my favorite things on top of the golf course because I'm a golf nut. But maybe you're looking for those other things as well. Plus, no assessments, no food and beverage minimums, just that incredible challenging course and those other top-tier amenities. Get started today, thewisconsincountryclub.com. It's just a fairway away.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. Whether it's live or in podcast form, you've heard us on air with all of our shenanigans.
Gabe, I'm throwing some... Why are you throwing...
I don't want...
Now see your favorite 94.5 ESPN shows streaming on video.
By me, by the way. I hit that microphone like 4 out of 6 times on that.
Subscribe to ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube and get notified when we hit the air live. Plus, you can watch back any second that you miss and see original digital content too. Watch, listen, interact. ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
calling, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This July, you could burn rubber on a custom Harley-Davidson in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday drawings for extra cash and reward play. Fire up your fantasy. Only at Potawatomi. More info online. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Ben Bruss talking about our friends at Road America, America's national park of speed. Get out of your house this summer and go to Road America, located conveniently between Green Bay and Milwaukee and Elkhart Lake. Come see a race at the legendary 4-mile, 14-turn road circuit that has hosted some of the best races since 1955. WeatherTech Vintage Weekend is up next July 17th through the 20th. Camp on site all weekend and enjoy free admission for kids 16 and under with a paying adult at the gate. Come for the experience and stay for the race. Get your tickets at roadamerica.com.
Hey Wisconsin, it's construction season and the Wisconsin DOT wants to help you safely navigate work zones in your area. Check 511wi.gov or download the free 511 app to see current road work, closures, detours, and camera views on your route. Wherever your travels take you, know before you go with 511wi.gov. That's 511wi.gov. And remember, know before you go. Always park the phone while driving. Sponsored by the Wisconsin DOT.
It's time for the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart. Packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirits deals in town. Located at 16th and National in Milwaukee. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily. Where your satisfaction is their plan of action.
It was yet another successful weekend for the Brewers as they won their third straight series, taking 2 out of 3 games from the Rockies. Quinn Priester stole the show on Saturdays. He went 7 innings, allowing just 1 hit and striking out 11, a new career high for the first-year Brewer.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Curveball again for Quinn Priester. His 11th strikeout of the afternoon. He is through 7 shutout innings here today in Milwaukee.
The Brewers had a chance to sweep the Rockies on Sunday, but lost 4-3 in 11 innings. The Brewers hit the road early this week and head to the Big Apple and look to stay hot against the Mets.
This has been the Milwaukee Baseball Report on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by National Liquor Mart.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
Holding. Defense.
The ref totally blew that call.
Oh, I'm sure he'll make the right call next time.
It's too late. It cost us the game.
Well, it's just one game.
That loss eliminated us from the playoffs.
Oh, the playoffs are on so late. Now you'll be well rested.
Okay, I need you to stop talking now.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Evan Cohen here. Typically, you don't associate speed with quality. For example, you don't go through a fast food drive-thru and expect a gourmet meal to go. Well, here's an exception. If you're hiring, you can find candidates fast who are also extremely qualified for your job. Just use ZipRecruiter. With ZipRecruiter's advanced resume database, you can proactively find qualified candidates in minutes. No wonder why ZipRecruiter is the #1 rated hiring site based on G2. Try it free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
We do have a crash northbound on 43, just about at Bender Road, just north of Bender Road, off on the right shoulder. Luckily, no issues other than that. We got a little bit of a backup coming up from Capitol Drive heading towards Silver Spring. Northbound 41's backing up from Watertown Plank Road up past North Avenue, back on the brakes from Burleigh through the Capitol Drive area, and the southbound side a little tight from Silver Spring down to Hampton. Otherwise, everything else is looking pretty good. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm King forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, a few afternoon pop-up storms possible, high of 83 at the lake, 88 inland. Tonight, isolated showers or storms, partly cloudy skies, a low of 68. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Brust and Nortman every day from 2 to 5. WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
If you go to the expo before the marathon, they got a ton of gear. They got t-shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies and all of the things that say the name of the marathon or the name of the city and all of the things. You got unlimited designs.
Oh, no. Oh, I can't. I got that marathon runner coming in tonight.
What marathon runner?
You know, this guy, Jean-Paul. I met him when I was working at Pendant, editing a book on running.
But there is just one official marathon jacket. Every marathon puts one out. They change it year to year. And if you run the marathon, it's a nice little display of accomplishment.
Oh, wait, Jean-Paul. Isn't he the guy who overslept at the Olympics 4 years ago, missed the marathon?
The number of people I saw walking around the 27th mile wearing the official marathon jacket who very clearly did not run the marathon was irking me, man.
Yeah, that's him.
He's from Trinidad and Tobago, right?
Yeah, he's Trinidadian and Tobagan.
How do you oversleep at the Olympics?
I know.
I mean, it's like the biggest event of your life. You'd think you'd have like 6 alarm clocks, paying off little kids in the village to come banging on your door.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
Brewers back at Citi Field today for the rubber match against the Mets. Yesterday, I'm sure you saw they won a big game, first game of the doubleheader, where the bats came alive again. Freddie Peralta good again. And then the wheels sort of fell off in the second game as Jacob Mizorowski was making his 4th start of the season for the Brewers, and he had a tough time. You know the thing that jumped out to me as I'm watching the game, Gabe, and maybe you saw this as well? He was going deep in the pitch clock. I don't know if he was trying to mess with the timing of Mets hitters, but a couple of times he could have been called for a pitch violation. They didn't, and then finally he gets flagged for one, and I thought, that's not something I'd noticed about Mizorowski in the previous starts.
I think, especially in retrospect, something was just a little off. And so then there's some indecisiveness. You hold on to the ball a little bit longer. And again, the velo is down just a little bit, just a tick, about 1.5 miles, average on his fastball compared to his previous start. Fewest swing and misses, I believe, in the 4 starts he's now made. So something was just a hair off in him. And again, it's going to happen. This kid is electric. He's entertaining. But as we said when he was called up, he is still raw. Still a lot of work that needs to be done. And every once in a while, especially when you're facing a good... I know the Mets haven't played well recently. That's a really good lineup. That's a really good lineup with the way that some of those guys are swinging the bat throughout the course of the season. And it's going to happen from time to time.
How do you scout him as a hitter? What would you do? Because when I would scout a D lineman, I would look at hand placement. I would look at lean. I would look at tendencies. Do they watch film on him and then go into the batting cage and turn the jugs up to 102 and then try to get that timing down?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, but also it's now when's that off-speed stuff coming so you can kind of look for it? And again, that's going to be done in your scouting reports of, hey, in this counts, just like in, hey, when it's 3rd and 7, they like to play this coverage.
Yeah.
When it's 1 and 2, he likes to throw this pitch.
Well, and I didn't go through the game day. I don't know what he threw on the grand slam and then because he gave up back-to-back jacks. Nimmo had the grand slam and then he gave up a home run right after that as well. I don't know what he threw on both of those pitches. I would love to go back and see. But after the game, guys, he actually said, and they loved his composure, right? After the game, the way he handled tough outing. He said, I threw good pitches. They hit them, plain and simple as that. Mizorowski said, you're facing the best of the best. They're getting paid too. But then he said this, guys. His delivery was slightly out of whack, starting with his finger positioning on the baseball. My fingers were just a little too far on the right side of the ball. The ball spun a little differently than what I'm used to. Nothing crazy. The fact that right after the game, and again, credit to the Brewers pitching coaches who are all on top of this stuff. They could tell that this, like you just said, even something as simple as the spacing of his fingers was just a little off, and it was throwing off the way that the ball was coming into the strike zone, and it contributed to a few of the issues that he had. And so the good news is, if you know what the issue is, you can correct it immediately, right? He's not throwing his arms up in the air going, I don't know why it didn't work out. And that, to me, gives me confidence that the next time he'll go out, he will continue to tweak, evolve, and still be this dependable flamethrower.
Yeah, if you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, he wasn't going to go undefeated.
No.
He wasn't going to take, no hitters into the fifth inning every time around. Think about Paul Skeens. He beat Paul Skeens because the Brewers, scored 4 runs on Skeens. Like, Skeens is one of the best in baseball.
Yeah.
Happens to everybody.
That's nice that he has that kind of feel and...
Oh, yeah, and Chris Hook, him and Hook were talking in the dugout quite a bit.
Yeah.
The pitching coach for the Brewers, Chris Hook.
Because as a player, you learn that early on. So if I had to block a D end by myself, I knew, because I'm outsized, I knew my technique had to be flawless.
Mm-hmm.
And when you nail your technique, it's like when you hit a home run and you don't feel anything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can also feel when you bad swing and a miss. You're like, oh boy, I overstepped. This is not going to be good.
Yeah.
So,
for whatever reason, every once in a while, it happens in every sport. For whatever reason, you just don't feel it that day. And unfortunately,
is the thing you have to worry about with him is confidence as a young guy?
I don't think so.
Doesn't seem like it.
No?
He seems pretty confident. The other thing I wanted to ask is...
when you throw 102.
Yeah.
when you know at the end of the day, even if you're a little off, I can still reach back and throw 102.
Got a lot to puff your chest out about. Is Eric Haas going to be his designated catcher? Does it seem that way?
I don't know. I don't think so. So he's now split. It just happened where the last start was a day game. They wanted to give off Contreras, so it ended up being Haas. And then yesterday, second game of doubleheader, Contreras wasn't going to catch all 18 innings.
All right, so let's spin it forward for you guys, because you probably saw Clayton Kershaw last night with the 3,000 career strikeouts. And Gabe told us something this morning in our production meeting that got me giddy for last week. You thought that the Miz and Skeens going against each other last time at AmFam Field was cool. Gabe, set it up. What do we got coming to AmFam Field this next coming week?
Tuesday nights, Miz versus Kershaw.
Another packed house.
Probably.
But that's another lineup. It's not going to be the Pirates.
So it's a little bit better than what the Pirates have to offer.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Chewy comes in Wednesday morning and he's like, but it's the Dodgers. It's the Dodgers, and you can't.
The hell?
I mean, who do they have?
Yeah.
Los Angeles Dodgers.
And listen, and I don't want to undersell this, guys. Like, this is a big freaking deal for Milwaukee. The fact that this guy is must-see TV, the fact that you have him going up against some of the best pitchers in baseball, the fact that you can buy a ticket to witness it live, this feels, I don't know, it feels like a really cool time to be a fan of the Milwaukee Brewers. Am I overstating something regarding this matchup?
No. I mean, and I believe it's going to be his first start on national television. That game's going to be on TBS.
Oh, wow, nice.
It's going to be the TBS game of the week on Tuesday night. Brewers-Dodgers.
And it sounds like the kid loves it.
Yeah.
I played with guys that would shy away from it. I've always told you about receivers that, hey, they can play
at home,
but you get on the road and it's a little violent, and they're like, I'm good with being the third read.
If you don't get to me, you don't get to me.
Yeah.
We did take a look at Potawatomi Sportsbook just to see if yesterday's outing changed the odds for our guy Mizorowski at all for National League Rookie of the Year. Told you to try to jump on that because the odds have only gotten tougher and tougher. Mizorowski minus 143. So no. I got in at 170, plus 170. That was 1 week ago before that start. I don't know that you're going to see plus odds unless he puts together a few real rough outings. You might see it shift a little bit, but we'll be watching this all season long.
The guy in Chicago's not a rookie, though, right?
Who? Pete Crow Armstrong?
Yeah.
No, he is not a rookie.
Okay. He's young, but he's not.
Yeah, he's not a rookie.
Okay.
No, he's been around.
Oh, you're saying for Rookie of the Year? I
Yeah.
believe he's starting in center field, though, when they announced the All-Star starters yesterday.
Yeah, him and Kyle Tucker.
Okay.
No Brewers, though, but we still hope that there will be some guys who will make the All-Star team, including Freddie Peralta et al. The open road is calling your name, and the ride begins at Potawatomi Casino Hotel, Milwaukee. This July, you could burn some major rubber on the custom Harley-Davidson of your dreams in the Fire Up Your Fantasy motorcycle giveaway. Play with your rewards card all July for entries. Thursday, drawings for extra cash and reward play. It's Fire Up Your Fantasy, only at Potawatomi. More information available online. Must be 21 years old and a rewards member to play.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have a crash northbound on 43, just about at Bender Road, just north of Bender Road, off on the right shoulder. Luckily, no issues other than that. We got a little bit of a backup coming up from Capitol Drive heading towards Silver Spring. Northbound 41's backing up from Watertown Plank Road up past North Avenue. Back on the brakes from Burleigh through the Capitol Drive area. And the southbound side a little tight from Silver Spring down to Hampton. Otherwise, everything else is looking pretty good. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, partly cloudy skies, a few afternoon pop-up storms possible, high of 83 at the lake, 88 inland. Tonight, isolated showers or storms, partly cloudy skies, a low of 68. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
The hottest takes.
Goody has shown everybody this entire offseason is that the goal is not to win a championship. The goal is to put a good football team out there, but it's not to make sure this team can win the title.
Without pumping the brakes.
But we're
Real
not
talk.
overreacting.
I'm not overreacting, but real talk. How many guys on this roster are all pro level? Tell me.
Kyle Brust and Nortman. Afternoons from 2 to 5 on 94.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and ESPN Milwaukee on YouTube.
Erica, it's good to see you.
How are things at our amazing Germantown location?
Absolutely fantastic. We heard you had a bold idea. What is it?
We're celebrating our 45th year in business, so I think we should give away some natural diamonds. Wow, that is a bold idea. How many and how big? 3/4 of a carat. 9 natural diamonds, each one clarity enhanced for maximum brilliance. 1 diamond for each store.
How should we mount them, Erica?
We'll give them away as diamond pendants.
So each of the 9 Kessler stores will have their own diamond pendant to give away?
Yeah, and all a person will have to do is to walk into a store and register to win.
Can a person travel to all 9 stores and register at each one?
Yeah, why not? And people will have from now until July 28th to register.
I'm in.
Me too.
It's unanimous, and people should bring in all their old jewelry so that we can professionally clean it for them for free.
That makes so much difference.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
With a dedicated Milwaukee team, Fifth Third Bank knows what success looks like. For 15 years, we've been serving businesses, organizations, and individuals in the area with a long-standing commitment to the healthcare and not-for-profit sectors. Whether it's expansion to commercial payments, Fifth Third offers a full suite of financial services and solutions to navigate your organization's complex needs. Experience the difference with Fifth Third Bank. National Association. Custom solutions built around your goals. Member FDIC.
It's Jason Wilde from Wilde & Tausch. Upgrade your industrial supply services with Lakeland Supply, your trusted ISO-certified partner for custom packaging, shipping supplies, janitorial, and safety supply solutions. With over 40 years of industry excellence, Lakeland Supply is a proven one-stop source with over 95% of their products made in the U.S., and they treat their customers like family. Personalized service with a national reach. That's what Lakeland Supply does. Visit LakelandSupply.com to discover how they can make your business better.
Kyle Brust and Nortman's Ben Brust here for Grimal and Associates Insurance. They do what anyone with a growing family, like myself, does. Protect what matters most. Grimal and Associates specializes in coverage that's tailored exactly to you. Clients aren't just policies, they're part of their community. Personalized American family insurance back service, expert guidance, and genuine commitment. Grimal and Associates focuses on building trusted relationships and providing peace of mind. The same values they've had for over 30 years in the Milwaukee area. Connect with Grimal and Associates at teamgrimal.com.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Josh said it's garbage.
I'm so glad that Josh is getting a front row seat.
He said it doesn't work.
Chewy,
am I right or wrong?
We call that a setup in the biz.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Finding the right home is a journey. Look, sometimes it's a quick journey, sometimes you take a little bit of time, but either way, it should always be exciting. The prospect of something new. The We Sell Group at Keller Williams understands that. They're not just about closing deals, they're about building relationships and helping you find the right fit. Rob and Nick have been incredibly patient with our search, informative and available throughout. It is so clear their passion is working with people. So whether you're ready to move right now, you're just starting to look, or you're thinking about selling, the We Sell Group is on the journey with you every step of the way. Start your journey today at the WeSell.com. I'm sorry, WeSell.kw.com. That's WeSell.kw.com.
The Top 8 at 8.
Name something that follows the word pork.
You pie.
Huh?
One category.
Name something people take with them to the beach. Turkey.
The Top 8 answers.
The first thing you buy in a supermarket. Turkey.
The Top 8 at 8.
A food often stuffed. Turkey.
The Top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Name Popeye's favorite food.
Chicken.
Show me chicken.
The Top 8 at 8 on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
All right, Gabe, what do we got today?
List 8 things in front of me. You and Chew guess back and forth. Once you each get one incorrect, we open it up to the fans. 800-990-3776. Whoever gets the last one on the list wins an ESPN Milwaukee prize pack. Today, we are looking for the top 8 three-point shooters in Bucks history. Most three-point field goals made in Bucks history. The top 8.
First one's easy.
Most field goals made?
Most three-point field goals made.
Three-point field goals made. Threes. So Ray Allen, right?
Yeah, number 1.
Ray Allen is number 2 on the list.
Oh.
1,051.
How long has a three-point line been around?
What?
80s? What? It's just a question. Okay, go Michael Redd.
Michael Redd, number
Yes,
3 on the list,
Yeah.
1003.
Pat Connaughton
is number 5 on the list, 585.
Is there a certain number you had to shoot in order to
No,
be on
it's
this
just,
list?
well, it's just made. It's not percentage, it's how many
just
you've made. 3-point makes.
Go big dog.
Glenn Robinson is number 9 on the list, so he is just outside. 494 career 3-point made. Big dog is out.
I think we talked about this guy the other day because we talked about how he reinvented his game. I think Brooke Lopez is on the list.
Brooke Lopez, number 4 on the list. 826 career threes made for the Bucks.
Can you reset the list, please?
Ray Allen is 2. Michael Redd is 3. Brooke Lopez is 4. Pat Connaughton is 5.
Ugh. I don't think like DiVincenzo is on this list. I don't think. I'm trying.
Now I'm pissed off.
For number 1?
Because you mentioned Dante DiVincenzo before you mentioned number 1.
Well, sure, but I'm just going through guys who I know
I'm just upset.
hit threes
I am so
for the
incredibly
Bucks.
Because this guy's made more threes and it's not even close.
Well, sure, it probably. I mean, again, obviously, it's escaping us at this point. The leader in threes. I thought Ray Allen was going to be number 1, but
it's not even close. This is so disappointing. I might quit. This is how upset
it's
I
his
am.
guy.
Promise?
Hey, Jen, it's his main guy.
I'm just
who he's very sad.
His main guy. Who he's very sad.
Yes.
Middleton?
There you
Chris
go.
Middleton is number 1 on this list, you dip bleeps.
Yes.
You mother bleeping dip bleeps. Dante DiVincenzo before Chris Middleton.
Why do you love him so much?
It makes me so
I mean,
happy.
he was great, but you
Because he is so great, and you guys point out why I love him. Because nobody actually appreciates him, despite him being one of the greatest players in this franchise's history.
Number retired?
Yes, without a doubt. 22 should be in the rafters. Dante DiVincenzo.
I'm just saying, I'm doing the snapshots in my brain of guys I can see making threes for the Milwaukee Bucks.
And Dante came into your mind before Chris?
So here's the thing about Middleton. He just sort of flew under the radar,
out of
right?
sight,
I don't know
out of
if I don't know if it's the Giannis element where he was just so like big. I can't explain
He
it.
scored 40 points in a finals game.
Yeah, I remember.
No, you don't. That's the problem.
No, but this wasn't about who scored 40 points in a finals game. I guess I didn't really think about body of work when it came to Chris Middleton and three-point shooting.
Dante's made 250, nowhere near the top 10.
Well, but he also wasn't on the team as long either. All right. So set the list again so that we can figure out where we need to fill in the blanks.
Got the top 5. Chris, Ray, Red, Lopez, Connaughton. Need 6, 7, and 8.
What about Giannis?
Giannis is number 7. 542 career-made threes. So
Why
we
didn't
need
you go
6
nuts at that?
and 8. Because he's not the franchise leader by over 300.
No. Fair.
Again, you know how Chewy loves like drama? I love it when we finally unnerve Gabe. Because he's so level-headed. He's so even-keeled. Save the occasional rant on, what was the thing you ranted? Encores last week. Save the occasional rant. He's just right here. But like every once in a while, we say something so egregious that it just unravels
Chris
him.
Middleton.
I don't know. This is tough.
Yeah, I will tell you 8 is very hard. I thought you guys had a really good chance at 1 through 7, but no 0% chance at number 8.
Well, since I know Dante DiVincenzo is not on the list.
Yeah, you kind of got a freebie there.
All right, let's open it up to the callers. 800-990-3776. We'll open it up to the callers. Most three-pointers made?
Most three-pointers made in Bucks
percentage.
history, correct.
Bucks history, 800-990-3776. I cannot see the call line today. Usually there's a little icon, and I am not.
Help us out, Will the Thrill.
Oh, by the way, he is he's workshopping nicknames for our new full-time producer, Will. We should also take a moment to congratulate Will.
Why don't you just call him Willie? We had Ashy, we got Joshy. He doesn't look like a Willie. And now he's Willie.
He doesn't look like a Willie.
Billy?
Huh?
You want to call him Billy?
Folks on the Talking Checks chain think he's my long-lost child. So.
You have some explaining to do later today at home.
Joe in Milwaukee. You think I'd remember that? Joe in Milwaukee, you're up first on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
Sure, because when you look up in the rafters, you see Brian Winters up there.
Yeah, but Brian Winters did not make a lot of three-point field goals.
Oh.
He is not even in the top 10.
Fooled by the rafters.
Well, then it was Craig Hodges.
Also incorrect. He got a freebie because it was incorrect.
800-990-3776. Looking for callers to play top 8 at 8. Looking for the three-pointers made. Top 8 three-pointers made in Bucks history. 800-990-3776. Let's go out to Brad in Whitewater. You're on with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Turn your radio down, Brad, and we will take your guess.
All right. Let's say Brandon Jennings.
Brandon Jennings, number 6 on the list. 554 career threes made for Brandon, leaving us with number 8.
This is the tough one.
This is a tough one.
Okay.
This is very tough.
Give a guess, Brad. Brad dropped off. Yes? No, he did. Let's go out to Mitch in Oak Creek. Mitch, you're up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Can you complete our top 8 at 8 list?
I think I got it.
All right.
Jack Sikma.
Jack Sikma is incorrect. Incorrect.
I love Jack Sikma.
Oh.
Great hair.
Let's go out to Hugh in Greenfield. Hugh, just one answer left on our top 8 at 8 list. Can you complete it for us this morning?
What about Ersan Ilyasova?
Ersan Ilyasova.
Oh, really?
That's a good
Mr.
one.
Broken Nose himself.
Yep,
Couple
that's a good
different
one.
stints with the
Little
Bucks.
mask
Made
action.
536 career threes.
Good
He
call.
is number 8 on the list.
Good list.
Bobby Portis, by the way, is 10, so he will have, with his new contract, he'll probably end up passing Ursan.
How many does he have?
467.
Okay. 467 to how many did Ursan have?
536.
So 70?
Mm-hmm.
At a season?
Yeah, that'll be a season.
Okay.
Yeah, so Bobby will replace Ursan.
Hugh, our big winner this morning on Top 8 at 8. Good list from our guy, Gabe, even though it made him real mad. Well, you have to know when we're going to, struggle with some of these lists. And we did a pretty good job.
Well, I just thought that, Chris Middleton being, one of the greatest players in franchise history would have been easily a name that came to your mind before something like Dante DiVincenzo. That's all I'm saying.
I'm doing the thing that my husband does when he doesn't want to look at me anymore. He puts something physically between the two of us. I'm holding up my read so that
Sounds
I know
like Gabe needs to go home and get a little... He's been pretty pent up this week. That's 2 rants in 1 week.
It's not my fault.
That's losing a year.
Monday, sure, but today is not my fault. I blame Jen.
Fair.
Let me tell you about our friends at Pella Windows Doors of Wisconsin, because if you're looking for windows with the strongest resilience, you need the Pella Experience. Pella Experience Center lets you feel, see, open, close, and compare dozens of windows and door options from 7 different Pella lines side by side. What's great is they have all these different customizable options. A, so you know it's going to look great in your home, and B, that's going to be affordable within your home as well. So stop by soon, because if you order by July 31st, 0% interest for up to 5 years. That's right. I'm going to say it again. 0% interest at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin for up to 5 years. Certain restrictions do apply. So visit the Pella Experience Center in Brookfield or schedule that free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. And when you go to Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, tell them Gabe Neitzel sent you.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Moving along pretty well. Northbound on 41, backing up still a little bit from Burleigh all the way up to Hampton. Other than that, everything else is rolling along fine. We really don't have any other incidents up there for you. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, partly cloudy, a few afternoon pop-up storms, a high of 83 at the lakefront, 88 inland tonight. Isolated showers or storms, partly cloudy skies, a low of 68. Weather is brought to you by Fifth Third Bank, custom solutions built around your goals, member FDIC. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't scroll past summer. Experience it live at Summerfest, because it's more than just a music festival. It's your summer highlight reel. Don't miss Summerfest, June 19th to July 5th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Get tickets at summerfest.com.
Forget average. At Exterior Pros, they bring the heat. They're not here to meet standards. They're here to smash them. From the first swing of the hammer to the final reveal, they're leveling up your home with every window, every shingle, and every single detail. This isn't just a remodel. It's a glow-up for your house. Built tough, built beautiful, built to turn heads. Want in? Let's go. Lock in your project now and save $3,000. Exterior Pros, where bold meets built. Trust the pros and visit extpros.com or call 262-800-4274.
It's Jen Latta from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. For me and my family, finding the perfect home is a journey, but we don't walk it alone. With the We Sell Group, Rob and Nick aren't just real estate agents, they're part of our family's team. They bring us options, perspective, and peace of mind. While they navigate the market, I can stay focused on all that life has in store. Because at the We Sell Group, it's not just about the home, it's about the people and the path it takes to get there. The We Sell Group, more than agents, part of your journey. Get started with Rob and Nick at wesell.kw.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
With 18 unforgettable holes on 250 acres of natural private land, the Bog provides the ultimate golf experience. To book your next tee time, call 262-284-7075 or visit golfthebog.com. Enjoy golf. Enjoy the Bog.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You want more physical harm beset upon people who are trying to earn a living.
I want winners. If someone has to die in order for us to win, then that's the price you pay.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Maybe we're just trying too hard when really it's closer than it is too far.
Back here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, and we have a special guest in studio with us this morning. Maybe you've been following his journey. A local Wisconsin kid with an unorthodox path to the NFL. It's Mitch Van Vorn, who, and we were just going over this here in the studio. Mitch grew up in Peshtigo, Wisconsin, went to Marquette, ran track at Marquette, transferred to St. Norbert, played football at St. Norbert, and also ran track. And then this offseason gets a call from the Cleveland Browns to be in their rookie camp, and then went to the Seattle Seahawks, was signed for 10 days, ultimately got released, but still is on this NFL journey. And I got to tell you, when you think of ways that guys get to the league, yours is a little bit different than a lot of people. So when did the idea of football become a reality for you, a guy who clearly did track in college?
Yeah, so it was always a dream of mine. It was always in the back of my head, but I don't think it really became like a real idea until probably my senior year at Marquette. I mean, with COVID, they gave us those extra semesters of eligibility, so it kind of like it was a light bulb moment that, oh, maybe I can go try it out after I'm done running. And then, you know, every track meet I went to, like everyone's like, hey, why are you here instead of playing football? So it's kind of just like reaffirming that, you know, I should go do it. And then, you know, after my senior year at Marquette, I accomplished, you know, some pretty good stuff there. And I was like, you know what, I'm only this age once, so I might as well go try to do it.
Well, I love it when people are like, I did some pretty cool things. Tell our loyal listeners what you did when you were at Marquette.
Yeah, so I qualified for regionals, and I have Marquette's school record in the 400 hurdles. And then I think I'm number 4 in the 400 indoor. And then I have some top 10 marks in like the 600 open 4 and the 4x4.
So how'd they find you? And what were the teams that came in to work you out, obviously?
Yeah, so after my year at St. Norbert, you know, I went up to Marquette, Michigan to train for 3 months. There's a Advantage Sport training up there. Dustin Branch, he has got a good program. He's like one of those guys that finds those diamond in the rough guys that make them big. So I went up there, trained with him, and then they got me into the CGS All-Star Bowl down in Texas in January. And then that was a lot of like smaller D1 guys or like guys kind of on the bubble of late round draft picks, undrafted free agents. And then, you know, I went there. I was one of the only D3 guys there, and then, you know, did pretty good down there, and I think that caught the attention of a lot of teams.
So you're going through this process. You just decided, oh, yeah, I'll give football a try? Like, I mean, it's supposed to be harder than that. Why did you go? Was it more than just people telling you had to do it? Obviously, it's something you wanted to do, but what was the motivation other than, hey, people are telling me I should be playing football?
Well, and just in case you're not watching on the stream, of course, you can watch this interview on the YouTube stream at ESPN Milwaukee. Mitch is sitting next to us. He's 6'5". He's 245 pounds, so there was that element, right? That was sort of like,
I mean, compared to the big guy, I mean, he's still got some, you know, he's got some weight he could put on. Maybe Chewy, you can work him out in the weight room.
Yeah, but he started as a track guy. I never started as a track guy.
Yeah, I mean, when I told a lot of people like this what I was kind of going for, they're kind of just like, oh, cool, like go chase your dream. But I think a lot of people thought I was joking. But you know, I have a good support system around me. Like my parents are really supportive, and I have a couple close friends that, you know, always believed in me. But yeah, you know, I always loved football. Like in high school, I think that was my best sport. But I went from a small school, and like we ran the single wing my last 2 years as a wide receiver, tight end. It's tough to get a lot of looks.
Yeah,
especially when we lost in the first round of the playoffs every year. And you know, track's just a numbers game. So like it's either you got that time or you don't. So I wouldn't say it's easier to get a Division I scholarship doing that, but I think it's coming from a small school is, I mean, it's just if you're fast, you're fast. So it's I and then I fell in love with Marquette, so I kind of just went that journey to keep my athletic career going.
Mitch Van Vorn joining us in studio now, a 3-sport athlete in high school here in Wisconsin, ran track and field, and then now has gotten to got an opportunity to play in the NFL. What was that call like, by the way? You get the call from the Cleveland Browns to be in their rookie minicamp. Take us into that moment. What emotions were you feeling when you were receiving that news?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, the day of the draft, like nothing happened, and my agent said there's a couple teams I reached out, but nothing really said. And then the day went by, and it was kind of just like, oh, there's all this traction, and now what's going to happen? But just had faith that my abilities can play at that level, and just trusted God and His plan. And then Monday morning came, and they called, and I got a spot in there, and I just knew that I had to keep going and chase this opportunity because a lot of people aren't in the place that I am right now. So guys, take advantage of it.
So you go to Seattle. John Schneider, GM, good friend of mine. They release you because of a numbers game.
Yeah.
John Schneider's a straight shooter. If he tells you to stay by the phone, guys get hurt. Happens all the time, all around the league. Everyone talks. You'll get another shot. But my advice to you would, as a young player who played at a small Division III school, know your stuff and do whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
If they're looking for a scout team guy to play corner or something, jump up and go in there. They'll throw you out, and your focus should be just special teams. That should be your goal, okay? Your goal is special teams, and they take guys that go whistle to whistle. And we all watch Hard Knocks, right? There's a guy every single year that makes it because he busts his ass, and that's what they love. So that's my nickel's worth of free advice.
Papa Chew over here. I'm getting a little emotional. I'm getting a little
Jen, you do stories all the time. You love stories like this. You love it. And but that's what they look for, And I know Johnny looks for it, because he was a young buck in Green Bay as an intern when I was there, and he started out the same way. Where did he go to school? We researched him the other day.
Oh, yeah, small played for
school.
1 year. We looked at that.
And then he writes Ron Wolf a letter and says, can I come in as an intern?
All right, well, I guess
Ron
we're
Wolf
not
says,
putting that in reach here this week.
And Ron Wolf says, sure, and look at him now. So don't give up on your dream.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
What's the strength of your game?
Probably my size and speed combined. I feel a lot of guys, I mean, obviously you can work out and get faster on the track and get more speed, but I think it's just a natural ability. And then, at my size, a lot of guys don't have that kind of movement.
Yeah, speed kills. I've heard that. Never had it.
St. Thomas is where John Schneider went to school, just to do a little housekeeping there. All right, give us your best story so far. What is the best thing that has happened to you on this journey where you were like, whatever happens, I've had this opportunity, I had this happen to me. What is the thing that stands out that pops in your brain?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things. I mean, I was the only Division III person who signed an NFL contract this year, so I think that really stands out and shows, I mean, not a lot of us get that opportunity to do that. So I think it's just a little bit of looking back and being grateful that I'm here, but also, keep going and keep grinding because, when I got there at first, it's there's a little Delvin back here. I'd come in from D3. It's can I compete with these guys? But when I was at the Browns, I was like, oh, I'm definitely able to compete and I'm athletically up to these standards. But I was like, maybe it's just because these guys are all rookies. You never know. And then when I was out in Seattle, I was the same thing. It's I got the ability to do it. I just need an opportunity to show that I can stay there.
Mitch Van Vorn joining us here in studio with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. All right, so let's say you get another opportunity, like Chewy is Miss Cleoing over here. Call me now. You get another opportunity. What is your goal? What do you set for yourself when you go into these opportunities? What do you say? If I do this, it will be considered a success.
Probably just give my best effort. I mean, every snap, every play in practice is another job opportunity. So, just taking advantage of everything that I got. Out in Seattle, I was only there for 10 days, so it wasn't the longest stint. But, I think I took a lot of advantage of that, and I've learned a lot even in that time period. So just, keep putting my next foot forward and, trust in the plan.
You mentioned, obviously, being a D3 guy, the only one to get a contract this year. Seems like a lot of guys from Wisconsin. If D3 guys get opportunities, they're going to Wisconsin schools, they're from Wisconsin. Why do you think that is?
I mean, I think there's a lot of powerhouses here, and we only have Madison as a Division I school, so it's either like you don't go to Madison or you go to a D3 school. So I think a lot of talent is here, and then the WEAC schools, they're pretty strong, so they get a lot of like guys who go D1 and then come back to D3. So I think they just have a lot of opportunity there.
Last thing for you before we let you go, Mitch. What is the hardest thing? Chewy always is reminding us you're playing tight end.
Mm-hmm.
Chewy always says that that's the toughest position outside of quarterback on the field. Now, that could be biased because he played a little tight end. What is the hardest thing about making this leap into this league?
Yeah, I think it's just the playbook. I mean, it's a lot getting thrown at you at once. You have to learn a lot in a short period of time. And, coming from D3, our playbook wasn't as intensive. So I think just learning that. But once you study it and once you get after it, it kind of comes with that. You just got to get into it and figure it out.
Pasquale's still there?
I'm not 100% sure.
In St. Norberg's, in De Pere?
What? Who?
Is it a bar?
No, it's a sub shop.
Oh,
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so, no.
Damn it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have you bring
Me
some
asking
back?
if you're asking about a bar. So outlandish.
No, that's Nicky's. I'm sure you've been to Nicky's.
I've never been, but I heard a couple people like it.
Does our guy Mitch look like a guy who's hanging out at Nicky's?
Not so much.
He's in the playbook, man. He's
Jen,
trying to
this
lock
is a guy
on.
that went to the combine, ran a 4.9, and went to Hooters. So.
What's your 40 time?
You don't have to. No, you're good. A little bit faster than I was.
Mitch Van Born, a Wisconsin guy who has had an opportunity to play in the NFL. Chewy is confident he'll get another opportunity. Look, we're going to be following your story, dude. So thank you for taking the time, coming in with us this morning, sharing your story with our loyal listeners. It is a thrill to cheer you on and watch your journey unfold. Mitch Van Born hanging out here with Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. We'll take a break. Roll on right after this.
Doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue with any guy. That's where Mentality comes in. Local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. So what does that mean? Maybe you're tired, maybe you're groggy, you just don't feel like yourself. Well, those could all be signs of low testosterone. And Mentality can help you. So book your appointment today, lowtusa.com. Mentality allows treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments, lowtusa.com.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN. Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app. A customizable homepage, easier and quicker live listening. Your shows at the touch of a fingertip.
Turn on your TV and watch the damn brightness in front of your nose.
At the end of the day, that's what you're measured by, championship.
Available in Apple and Android app stores. Your one-stop shop for ESPN Wisconsin. The brand new ESPN Wisconsin app.
Hey, this is Mike from Infinity Exteriors. Buying a roof, siding, or windows can feel overwhelming. Hidden costs, confusing contracts. We don't play that game. We educate you so you can decide. And when you know the facts, Infinity Exteriors is the clear choice. Since 1997, we've installed peace of mind with no surprise upcharges, flexible budgets, and immediate financing. Infinity Exteriors, saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
This fall, the Sandman, Adam Sandler, You're My Best Friend Tour.
I feel like we're very good friends now.
Fiserv Forum, October 5th. Get tickets now at Ticketmaster.com.
Make plans to stop by Third Ward Beer Garden at Catalano Square. Experience Milwaukee's favorite beer garden, the perfect spot to meet up with friends in the Third Ward. Open Wednesday through Sunday with live music Thursday through Saturday. Good times and great vibes await at Third Ward Beer Garden.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could it be lower testosterone?
Lower T.
Happens to most guys after 40. I was in the same boat until I started using Nugenix Total T2.
Total T2, the new one I've seen on TV.
Yep, it's the next generation testosterone booster for both free and total testosterone. It's packed with even more man-boosting power, sending nitric oxide levels skyrocketing in just 3 hours.
It actually works?
I feel like I'm in my 20s again. weekend. I've got more energy, better results in the gym, and things are even better in the bedroom. Send them a text and get a complimentary bottle.
Text now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the #1 testosterone brand at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, absolutely free. Text CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231. CASH to 231231.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Kevin Morat, Mentality founder here with a wake-up call. You're running on fumes, gentlemen. Just 1/3 of the free testosterone you need. That's why you're drained, defeated, and disgusted with your progress. But here's the truth. Mentality doctors specialize in epic comebacks. Our clients show an increase of 30% testosterone levels within the first month. We don't just treat men, we reignite lives. Just imagine the focus, energy, and drive being restored. Your comeback starts now. Don't wait. Make this your best year yet. Start today at mentalityhealth.com/radio.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I thought
Salvation
every time
Army.
that they hear their name when it's non-scheduled, that's what they want to hear.
I could hear Ashley laughing in the background.
Am I right or wrong?
He's not wrong. Hey, he's not wrong. He's not wrong.
He is wrong.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Great to have Mitch Van Vorn hop into studio with us. You know, when I asked him, hey, when are you going to be around? He gave me the week. This week he was going to be around. I don't know that he's around, gang. Did it sound like he's living in Green Bay and maybe pop down here?
Yeah, I mean,
chit-chat with us?
Living in Green Bay. Don't know if he happened to come down here. Yeah, maybe woke up early to
make the drive.
Hang out with Chew.
I mean, come on. That pep talk that Papa Chew gave him, I got goosebumps during Papa Chew's little chit chat there. Like, let's just back up for 1 second. You and me and Will and Joshy, we sit with Chew every day, right? So he's like, eh.
I would have the same reaction.
Thank you. I'm glad you appreciate my accuracy. But for this kid, right, who is now chasing an NFL dream, to sit across from Mark Chmura, Super Bowl champ, and have you give him advice, encouragement on what you see in him and how he could, that's invaluable, man. Like, I know you don't realize it, but like,
the kid had no hell. He had no idea who the hell I was. He's a nice kid.
He's kind of young.
But
he probably missed the Super Bowl.
That was me 30 years ago. A little different path. But you can see it, and I mean, luck has so much to do with it. Seattle loses a tight end or two in camp, and all of a sudden, hey, that's the tough thing about it. Might not happen till the second week of camp, and you got to work out like that call's coming tomorrow. That's the tough thing, but you never know. And I tell you guys a story. I was this far from being cut. But you know what? Luck, there's so much luck, fate, whatever you want to call it, you never know. And he's a nice kid, and he sounds like he's a hard worker. I just hope he gets that shot, and I think he will.
Well, and I loved what you said about John Snyder, and it matters, like how these GMs are, their makeup. And you're saying him being a straight shooter and telling Mitch Van Vorn, who joined us here in studio just a few moments ago, to stay by his phone, You're saying that matters because
Totally.
he's not going to sell this kid a bill of goods.
Because there are so many GMs and front office personnel that will BS you. But John's not going to sit there and go, "Hey, stay by your phone."
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a livelihood. Because he knows the work that it takes to when you tell a kid to stay by your phone. Just think of all the work he's got to do in the next month and a half or whatever it is. He's not going to do that to him. It wouldn't be fair to the kid.
And there's more opportunity now than ever with the expanded practice squad.
Yeah.
So he's got an opportunity if he gets out there, gets that call. There's,
sure.
It's not just making that 53. It's can you be a part of that 16 that's also on the practice squad now.
And he's got what they like. They like size and they like speed. So I hope he gets a shot.
Well, don't forget the UFL is another venue.
Sure.
Obviously, he is shooting for the stars, and we hope that he achieves his dream of getting to the NFL. But the UFL is obviously another place where guys who are sort of on that cusp, who are sort of on the peripheral, can also get experience, get on the field, get reps, and also grow their game. So again, this is not the end of the road for this young man. Very cool to chat with him. And again, a Wisconsin kid, and Wisconsin loves their own. Right? We talk about that all the time. Like, you grew up in this state, you got fans for life.
Well, unless you stab us in the back.
Is this a Tyrese Halliburton thing?
No, it was more of a Craig Counsell thing, but,
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, Tyrese, I guess Tyrese, but he couldn't control where he went. He got drafted by the Pacers. Like, I definitely, it wasn't Tyrese's choice to go there. It was Craig's choice to go to Chicago. So there's more Craig Counsell.
When is the next Cubs Brewers series?
End of the month, I believe.
End of July,
Yeah.
after the All-Star break.
So stubborn and a grudge holder. Okay.
You hold grudges.
Wait, don't those go hand in hand?
I guess.
If somebody crosses you, they're out. They're out.
Like they're the opposite. They're just the same coin. It's just you flipping it over.
Fair.
Everybody have a very happy and safe 4th of July. We will be back with you
safe
on
4th of
Monday.
July.
No fireworks, no sparklers for the babies, huh? Wilde and Tausch is next on ESPN Milwaukee.